My name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the shots in the JFK assassination. Now, the reason why I'm going to go over the shots in the JFK assassination is to explain more, and hopefully this will make people understand that there was 13 shots fired, and here's the reason why there was 13 shots fired. Because the pure simple fact is, I keep on getting comments. Even I made some comments on another site today, and people says, "Oh no, there's only eyewitnesses claim they only heard 2 shots. Some eyewitnesses only claim they heard 4 shots. Some eyewitnesses claim they heard 3 shots." Okay, so this is all confusing because there was actually 13 shots fired that day, but they don't accept that because they don't accept to what eyewitness accounts claimed. Okay, now I'm going to show you this. This is the map that I go over, and this is the map I study when I do an investigation on the shots and everything else in the JFK assassination. This is the way I look at it. Now, when other researchers and stuff or anybody else does research on this, they don't look at it this way. They just look at JFK's limo there, and that's it. No other follow-up cars, no people around or anything else. Okay? Now, when we look at this map, we're going to see all these crowds here that's going to be yelling and screaming. "Hey, Mr. President, look at me. Hey, Jackie, look at me," and stuff. Hey, let me take your picture. People screaming. We also got other cars, sound from other cars. And remember, Dealey Plaza is more or less like an echo chamber. Okay? One shot is going to go pow, 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 pow. It's going to be big bang in this location. And it's going to echo, same as these cars. These cars are going to echo from building to building. Okay? This is an echo chamber. So, excuse me. So when we watch this, when we watch the footage and everything else, we have to understand this. Okay? Plus, we also have to look at the fact that there's car sounds that's going on. You got police sirens going on. People screaming, people yelling. But the key fact that everybody keeps on overlooking when they're doing research is the firecracker sounds. Okay? Here's where the firecracker sounds come from. Now, everybody knows there was no firecracker debris found anywhere. There was nobody talking about throwing firecrackers or anything. But people's heard these firecracker sounds, and here's the reason why. Remember, we only have 2 gunmen at ground level. So these shots will be heard. 2 shots. Some people over in this area here and over here as well says they only heard 2 shots. Governor Connolly said he only heard 2 shots. He was hit by the second shot. James Tague standing over here by the curb. He said he only heard 2 shots, and he said the bullet struck the curb. This was the second shot, not the first shot. Okay? The government and all of them is claiming there was 3 shots fired. And other people's claiming there's 3 shots fired, and other people's claiming there's 4 shots fired, and 5 shots fired, and everything else. But see, what we have to do is all depends on what location you're at. At ground level, only 2 shots are going to be heard. Now, we have Oswald on the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository. When he takes a shot, it's going to be inside the building. Okay? So, it's not going to echo outside. He's above the crowd, 1, and 2, he's inside the building. So, any shots that he fires is going to sound like firecrackers. Same thing for the guy on the 2nd floor of the county records building. He's inside the building, he's above the crowd, he's inside the building, and when he takes his shots, it's going to sound like firecrackers going off. Guy on the rooftop of the county records building, when he takes his shots, basically they're not going to be heard because there's nothing for that sound barrier to bounce off of as it does in here. Okay? So it's going to be a light pop that you're going to hear. Again, we're going back to firecrackers because this is what it's going to sound like when we're at ground level and we're hearing everybody yelling, everybody screaming. Cars, the sounds of cars and buses and motorcycles with sirens going off and everything else. We're going to hear these pops and these cracks are going to sound like firecrackers going off. When in fact, if it is, they were shots being fired. Okay, that was the key fact. Just like when I show you here, just like some shots, when we look over the shots, the timing of the shots, we could see, okay, that shots were fired at the same time. Just like shot number 4 and 5. Okay, we got 0.01 of a second that these shots were fired. Okay, in between both of these shots. Shots 4 and shot 5. Shot 4 was a fatal headshot to JFK. Okay, that was a fatal headshot to JFK. The 5th shot came from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository. That bullet hits JFK in the back of the head, but exits the opening wound that's in JFK's head and hits the inside of the windshield. Now, with these shots being fired, we also have to look at this as well as the distance. Okay. Now, the reason why shot number 4 made contact with JFK's head first before shot number 5 did is because shot number 4 was only taken 71.70 feet or 22.90 yards away from JFK. Shot number 5, when it was taken, it was 268.17 feet or 89.39 yards away. So this shot here, shot number 4, is going to strike JFK first. Then shot number 5 is going to strike right after it. They can be they can be fired at the same time at different locations, but by the locations, one bullet's going to make contact first. That's closer. Then the second bullet's going to hit. Okay. So see, some bullets and some shots were fired at the same time. Okay. We have one here. We have one here. We have one here. We have one here. One here. Shire, getting fired at the same time or back to back. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 shots were taken at the same exact time, or right after the other, one after the other. So if we eliminate that, that's firecracker sounds there. Okay. Now, when we got other shots being fired from different locations, like I said, we're talking above ground level, we're talking inside of buildings and stuff. These are all going to sound like firecrackers. Now, a lot of eyewitness accounts did claim, hey, they heard firecracker sounds that day. Even Governor Connolly said he heard firecrackers and stuff. Firecrackers these people's been hearing and stuff was, in fact, other shots being fired from inside of the buildings and above ground level. That's why I, even in my book, Evidence of a Conspiracy, okay, I point this out. These are shots being fired inside of buildings and above ground level. They're going to be firecracker sounds. That's what we're going to hear. When we're at ground level, only shots we're going to hear is any shots that's taken ground level, which is basically the shelter number 3. Okay, that's why people claimed they heard shots, only 2 shots. James Tague, 2 shots. Governor Connolly, 2 shots. Guy up here, 2 shots. Some people over here, 2 shots. One person over here, 2 shots. Some people over here, 3 shots. Okay, which it could probably be a little bit closer. Even people here can hear more of a better of a shot, especially when it's fired right above them, same as the Newman family, whereas right here the shots came from behind them. But like I said, most of the impact is going to be on the inside of a building. Most of that sound is going to be tracked inside the building than it is on the outside, because you're only going to get a brief pop. So I wanted to get this cleared up because, a lot of people, and the only reason why I want to get this cleared up is so people can go away from this one now, okay, and move on forward into this case and trying to get this case resolved. Let this be the year that this case gets resolved totally and put to rest. That's why I'm trying to push my videos. That's why I'm trying to push this evidence out there so people can understand and see, so we can put this to rest once and for all. Okay, if I had the money and I did had if I was allowed to, I would go to Dallas and I'll film a documentary, okay, and I'll go from every angle that these gunmen were and line every shot up, okay, just to prove it if I have to. But at this point I won't be able to because I don't have the funding for that, and I don't know if they'll allow me to do something like that, okay, because they've been talking about for years that they want to put a stop to all this documentary making around that area because, other businesses and everything else, so that's understandable as well. But like I was trying to point out here in this video here, is there was actually 13 shots fired. The reason why that I only heard 2 shots or 3 shots or 4 shots is because the pure so fact of it is these gunmen was above ground level, they was inside of buildings, and with all the noise down ground level, every shot that they take from inside these buildings and above ground level is going to sound like firecracker shots. And that lines up to eyewitness accounts hearing firecrackers being let off, but it wasn't firecrackers, it was shots. So everything that I found matches a lot of the eyewitness accounts and a lot of the stories as told in the JFK assassination. So I just wanted to clear this a little bit up and talk about them shots. that the shots was taken that day was the firecracker sounds that people heard. Okay, that puts an answer to that question. And don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to tell your friends about us. I still got that book giveaway. As soon as I hit 10,000, when I get 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to pick out the person that puts I like on that video that I posted, and they're going to get a free my copy of the very first copy ever came offline of Evidence of a Conspiracy, and it's going to be signed to them. And I want to try to get them subscribers in so we can go ahead and give this book away to somebody. And for those who like to read my book, okay, again, I'll leave in the description down below the site where you can get either on Kindle or you can get the book itself, you know. So thank you. Like I said, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to tell your friends about us. Thank you and have a nice night.